Hello everyone, thank you so much for accessing this video. This video is all about Rahu and Kethu transit for Taurus zodiac sign. For Taurus zodiac sign, Rahu is transiting in the first house and whereas Kethu is transiting in the seventh house. Alright, first house talks about your mindset, your creativity, about your behavioral traits and characteristics, and the way you perceive the things and your mindset and the way you brought up in your community all can be seen from the first house. Alright, whereas seventh house talks about relationships, marriage, business partnerships, and legal partnerships. Alright, so in terms of understanding about this Rahu Ketu transit, so for Taurus zodiac sign, as I mentioned to you, Rahu is transiting in the first house. So you got to be very sure about in terms of your ways of thinking. So sometimes it may create a lot of confusion for you in terms of making decisions, and most importantly, you might become a little bit egoistic in terms of the luxuries that you are maintaining. So you got to maintain humble in terms of relationships, and you cannot think in a bad perspective without having proper evidences, and make sure that your thinking patterns are monitored appropriately, and most importantly, do not indulge into any kind of wrong acts, because Rahu in the first house gives that urge of doing things in an unethical manner. So you got to be controlling, you have to control that and make sure that Rahu supports you in a way in terms of understanding about your own self, understanding about your own strengths and weaknesses, and then performing accordingly as per your alignment in your birth chart. And depends upon your Rahu's placement in your natal chart as well. In your natal chart as well, we have to see the placement, how strong the Rahu is. Where are the aspects coming upon? Is there any Jupiter aspect happening upon Rahu? Then whatever I have told, that will be controlled. Otherwise, that will go on haywire. So you got to maintain cool in terms of maintaining, in terms of your speech, and you have to be polite in terms of your communications. You have to be humble in terms of understanding the people, and most importantly, you can involve into some kind of charitable acts to so that the energy of Rahu get balanced. And if at all, for relationships, for that matter, for marriage, so Ketu is transiting into seventh zodiac sign in your seventh house for the Taurus zodiac sign. So you might get that interest towards occult sciences. You will start showing focus on the religious traditions and customs, because Ketu is the planet of spirituality. And also Ketu on the contrary, it might bring a lot of disturbances, family disturbances at your home environment. So you got to maintain cool and control your temperament. And most importantly, understanding, you might tend to misunderstand the people. You will do a lot of thinking and research on other people without having the proper facts and figures. So you got to maintain your cool attitude in terms of talking to others, and also at your workplace situations, make sure that you are humble and polite and respectful enough towards your bosses and the colleagues, because that might trigger into some kind of workplace politics as well. And also maintaining relationships with your foreign country people, maintaining relationship with the counterparts, you got to be very careful in terms of signing on to the agreements and contracts, because Rahu and Ketu are transiting in the first house and seventh house. In terms of business agreements, in terms of business contracts, you got to be very careful when you are signing for it. Alright, so thank you so much for watching this video, and the people who have joined in the middle of this session, please do watch the video, full video, so that you'll be able to understand. And also I have made a video on the Jupiter transit into Capricorn for Taurus zodiac sign. Please check in my YouTube channel. Please do watch that video as well, because that talks about Jupiter transit. Alright, so thank you so much, and let's stay tuned for other videos.